Okay, so Daredevil Born Again. They're officially past the middle point in the show. So it is what it is. You know what the show is now. There's 9 episodes in total. I said I was going to review like each episode, but it's how do I say this? How do I say this?
How do I reach these kids?
It's not good. Okay, I'm just gonna say it's not a good show. I'm sorry. I know a lot of people like the show. A lot of people even liked episodes 5 and 6 that they dropped on the same day. But let me explain all the problems that I've got with this show. So fair warning, this is going to be very spoiler filled. And I'm going to be very critical on various aspects of the show. There's a lot I like about it. There's a lot I don't like about it. For me personally, it's very middle of the road. Oh, and make sure to like the video just because this video is going to get a lot of dislikes. I'm going to be ranting about a lot of this stuff and people are not going to be happy about it, okay? So yeah, if you can leave a like, I would appreciate that a lot.
It's the right thing to do.
Okay, so I actually don't have a whole lot to say about episode 3. Overall, pretty good episode, I'll be honest. It was a good episode. This is, spoilers, I warned you. This is the episode where White Tiger dies at the end. Very tragic. He was made out to be a very good character. And I think the show did a very good job developing him as a character to be very likable. He was more likable than the current Captain America we have in the MCU. So I give the show props for that.
No, and I never saw him again until yesterday in court. And now I know his name is Nicky Torres.
Most of this episode is going to be a courtroom drama kind of thing, and which is what people were clamoring for during all the She-Hulk stuff. So I get it, and hey, you got it now. So Mayor Fisk, and I'm going to call him Mayor Fisk now because listen, I gave the show a big chance here. We are 6 episodes in. Kingpin is not acting like Kingpin. He's doing some stuff. He has moments. He murders someone later very brutally. That's a very Kingpin thing to do. But he's not Kingpin. Everything else he does, he is eating shit left and right. I'll point out like individual stuff that happens, but I'm gonna call him Mayor Fisk for this review. Future reviews, he's Mayor Fisk. He's not Kingpin. Just like in Book of Boba Fett, that guy's Beta Fett, not Boba Fett, because he let everybody step all over him. So I don't quite know what they're going for with Mayor Fisk in this show. Because, okay, we got a scene here where he sees the port and he wants to revamp it. He wants to bring industry back to the port. He wants it to not be a black eye on the face of New York. What are they doing with Kingpin in this show? Do they want him to be like a good guy, a genuinely good guy, and he's like struggling to do that? And if so, why? Why did he change? Am I supposed to have watched Echo? I can't tell if I'm supposed to watch Echo or not.
Nobody gives a fuck about Echo.
Well,
we wasted our time, so you don't have to.
Yeah.
To be clear, I don't want to. But yeah, this port is going to be kind of important. And like, okay, I want to talk about something that happens during this conversation here. He's like, I'm going to change this port. It's not longer to be a black eye on the city. And like his advisor just says like, oh, you can't just will something into existence just because you want it. All right, regular people can't. Kingpin can though.
You will inform your fellow crime lords that I will be taking over your territory. Never! Perhaps a seat even closer to the action will change your mind.
Kingpin has the resources. He is the crime lord. There's nobody better than that. Nobody does it better than the Kingpin. If somebody can get past the red tape, the bureaucracy, it's Kingpin. And I feel like he should be doing that in the show to get stuff done quicker. We have a scene here where Kingpin's talking to his wife Vanessa, and she says something to him like, gangs, the people, the system is falling apart without you or me to guide it. And the main reason that bothers me is because Kingpin himself is not even doing Kingpin stuff in this show. Like, not really. Like, listen, I know if you disagree, just rewatch Netflix show. I rewatched it before jumping into this one. Totally different characters.
You embarrassed me. Embarrassed me in front of her.
This guy is like, he's a shell of the previous Kingpin. It's strange to see or to even say, but that's how it is. So what bothers me is Kingpin's not doing the stuff, and now Vanessa can just also do Kingpin stuff just as good as he can. So it's like, what's special about Kingpin anymore? Matt overhears something in the courtroom. He overhears some of the cops saying that Torres cannot be allowed to testify because they really want White Tiger to get sent to prison. Because there's a big like anti-vigilante sentiment that they're going for in this show, right? That very much follows the Daredevil Born Again comic book. Eventually, there's this whole thing with getting Torres to the courtroom, and it's all not bad, right? I do wish the characters that were funneling Torres around were more likable, sort of like how Foggy and Karen were. I do kind of feel still that Detective Candy just kind of comes out of nowhere. He's just kind of like there with like very little explanation. It felt that way in episode 1, where they expected us to care that he found out Matt was Daredevil. Okay, but all that's to say that yeah, they got this guy Torres to testify, and he ends up lying because he gets intimidated. And then there's this whole thing with the courtroom. You know, it's overall a good scene. I would recommend a watch there for this episode, anyways. But like where there's positives, there's also negatives. We got another marriage counseling scene, and talk about pointless. I don't know what they're doing here. Like, I would like it if there was like an obvious direction, but like, listen, my patience can only go so far. We go up to episode 6 and we're still doing this like Vanessa and Mayor Fisk are like, will they, won't they? Their marriage is it's teetering. Who cares? Are they setting up Vanessa to be the new Kingpin? Like, is that what's going on? Is Kingpin gonna divorce Vanessa or fall out of love with her? Because that doesn't seem to be happening. So what are you doing? Okay, I want again, I think I mentioned in my first video, the BB report is really annoying, okay? I don't like the BB report. I don't know. I don't really like it. It feels like a Frankenstein monster kind of thing. Credit where credit's due, though. The scene with Hector and Matt kind of talking about his heroism, where he's the White Tiger and has been saving people for years. That is a very emotional scene, and I really like it a lot. 10 out of 10 for that scene. I don't know. That was very good writing. Like overall, the whole court thing is good. And then, of course, to cap it off, Hector dies. He's killed. Originally, he was killed by it was a corrupt cop. The original intention of the show was to be very how do I say it? Corrupt cops everywhere. And so but now they kind of show it like specifically this guy was like a Punisher wannabe. So yeah, overall, very, very tragic death scene. Wish we had more Hector, but yeah. All right, this one's gonna start punching, man. Okay, so episode 4. Okay. So I guess I just gotta say, the original version of the show, before they reshot it, some of it, not much apparently, it was very ham-fisted with the political messaging. So there's a very strong, how do I say it, like an anti-cop thing going on here, where it's like, it's us versus them. But this character, who is like, I can't remember her name. She's the White Tiger's niece, Hector's niece, basically. Point is that, okay, she's very much, this entire episode actually, I think is the one that's gonna be very strongly pushing that messaging. And one of the first things she says is, they killed him, didn't they? The police. Seems like everybody's just like, yeah, they did it, and not like, I don't know, anybody else, because he's a vigilante. You think vigilantes would have enemies, so it could be anybody, like anybody that would hold a grudge against him. This jump to blame like officers and stuff is like, this is where the political messaging is strong, and it's not the best part of the show, let's say. But there's more to it. There's the fucking Fruit Loops guy, and I'll get to him. My God. There's 2 cops here, and they're both eating cereal. And then there's this guy sitting on the ground. I'm gonna call him the Fruit Loops guy because he's such an asshole that like that's his name now, okay? And what's more like ham-fisted about this is that the guy that stole the cereal is like criticizing the 2 cops that are eating the cereal, which obviously they shouldn't be doing, but like, why is the thief who did something illegal like criticizing them? You know what I mean? Like, there's another scene here of the best part of the show, more marriage counseling. I'm just gonna skip over this. There's nothing good in these scenes. They're boring, and I don't know why. What are they doing? BB report sucks. All right, we got to talk about the fucking Fruit Loops guy. This doesn't go anywhere. Okay, I don't think this guy's gonna show up in the last 3 episodes and like save the day or something. This is just to push like an agenda they had when they had the original version of the show. So the Fruit Loops guy, first thing he does is mock Matt for being blind. He's like, oh, I got the blind guy, and we're supposed to like this guy. He says that he claims he didn't do it, and then Matt explains like there's a metric F ton of evidence against you proving that you did it. Then he says something like, I paid for the cereal last week. Okay. Then he mocks Matt again for being blind. And then he demands a probation, and like that's like a difficult thing to do. And then he mocks as Matt's like leaving to go and try and get the best deal he can for the guy. He mocks him again for his blindness. Like, holy shit, dude. And like my main, like, it's not even that I disagree with what he's saying. It does make sense, right? My point mostly is that why is it in the Daredevil show? Like, what do you want Daredevil to do about this? He's a vigilante. He can't fight the justice system. If Daredevil can't have any agency over it, then why is it such a strong point in this episode? And while I'm ranting, because let's face it, most of this video is me ranting, and I warned you, there's a lot of ranting in this video. Sorry, I wish I liked it more. I know a lot of people like the show. It's just, I can't with it. The Punisher scene, the fight with Muse, cool scenes, but they're not earned. They come out of nowhere. Okay, so speaking of the Punisher scene, because I'm getting ahead of myself. So he goes back to the scene of the crime where Hector was killed and finds a bullet casing on the ground. So he feels out the bullet, and there's an engraving of the Punisher symbol. Just to pause the ranting for a moment, I agree with everybody else here. Anyways, the Punisher scene is good. John Bernthal, amazing job. He just falls right back into the role as a Punisher. Actually makes me kind of excited about the Punisher special that they're doing on Disney Plus, knowing how they're handling this show and how they handled Secret Invasion and the writing for every other show. So there's like a 10% chance the show would actually be good. But I know John Bernthal is going to be holding it up as much as he can, despite the writing that's probably going to be in that special. Let's be real here. I don't know. Do you think the special is going to be good? Do you still trust Disney Plus? Post down in the comment section below. The Punisher forces Daredevil to like face his trauma and actually what happened to Foggy. And I want to just note that I believe this is the moment, the first mention in the original version of the show that we would have got, if they didn't retool it, that we would have actually had the mention of Foggy and what happened. And also, I said this in my last video, that not many people watched, because let's face it, not many people are watching this show. I forgot to mention this in the intro. Nobody's watching this show right now. The viewership is really bad. But so yeah, I don't expect this video to even get many views, but I just thought I would cover it like this and then the finale. But yeah, to get back to my point, in the original version of the show, they weren't even going to mention Karen, and it took them this long to mention Foggy. So yeah, I'm glad they retooled it as much as they did. They should have grabbed everything they filmed before and burnt it. This is all whatever. But yeah, this Punisher scene, good all around. I really don't have any complaints about it. I love this scene. It's very good.
20 minutes of courage, lads. Then we got 1.8 mil and that fat bastard's off Luca's back.
All right, we got to talk about episode 5. So a lot of people like episode 5. This is a part of the two-parter episode drop on the same day, same Tuesday. I'm glad they did it because this episode was listen, it's not even about the quality of the episode. It's just that it's standalone and doesn't contribute to anything. It feels like one of those Mandalorian episodes where it's just like the main point is that way, but let's just kind of spin around a little before we get there. It's filler. It's a filler episode, and like I do like filler sometimes. Sometimes it's necessary, but like.
Was that a challenge? Well, if it's a race you want, it's a race you'll get.
This one's not. It's a generic bank heist, and that's the entire episode. Like there are movies out there that do this way better.
A leprechaun might pinch. Candy.
The first thing that happens is they talk. Okay, so there's this guy here, and I was wondering who this guy was because he was acting a bit different. He was being treated differently from everybody else. He's the bank manager. Apparently, the guy is like Kamala Khan's father, so Miss Marvel's dad. I never watched Miss Marvel. I don't have any plans on watching Miss Marvel or any of the other Disney Plus shows. I'm never going back to that shit. So this guy just came out of nowhere, and like he has like a custom-made Funko Pop of Miss Marvel on his desk.
This is her, right here. A custom designed Funko in her honor.
And like, come on. Talk about like, I think that's probably an official Funko Pop. It's just so like, I don't know. I know Kevin Feige apparently really likes the Miss Marvel character and wants to make her more popular, but like, you can't force it. You can't force popularity. She's just not catching on, and I'm not gonna buy her Funko Pop. You don't have to like grab the Funko Pop and show it right to the camera. I will say that the guy, like the Kamala Khan's dad, he did a good job in the episode. Like I said, the episode itself is of a certain quality. It's like, it's not bad. I just don't care for it right now. This is episode 5. Get that shit out of here. Yeah, the music choice still really interrupts the tone of the show. Like, they're trying to go for dark and gritty, but they keep having like the most like off-putting music.
20 minutes of courage, lads. Then we got 1.8 mil and that fat bastard's off Luca's back.
This episode is very Irish themed. It takes place on St. Patrick's Day. I shit you not. And all of the bank robbers are all Irish. And they're like, you don't know the meaning of St. Patrick's Day. It's a cartoon. It's a silly cartoon.
It's okay. It's all right. Don't mind the gun.
Honestly, I think I would like this episode better if they actually killed some of the hostages there, because them not doing it really makes it feel like it's just a silly cartoon, just like a Disney thing. It's Disney, where it's like everybody's being held captive, but nobody's in any real danger. If that would make it a bit more dark and gritty, and that's what we were promised in the trailer. It's supposed to be like a dark series, darker than the Netflix stuff. It's really not, though. Honestly, I'm just gonna skip over this episode. There's really nothing important that happens in it.
Friend sent me this video. Yeah, check this out. Bro, look how crazy that is.
And hey, you know what? 2/3 through your television series, I think that's the perfect time to reveal your main villain. Who cares about what was it? Developing a character? Spoilers, right? They rush this Muse thing so much in this episode. Like, I know he showed up to like talk to the therapist when she was signing books. That's not enough. I need more focus on the guy. Less focus on Mayor Fisk fixing a port or kissing other people's ass. More focus on developing Muse as a good villain.
So you know you have an unscheduled visitor in your office.
But yes, okay, Luca, one of the mob bosses, shows up. And man, does he not. This guy reminds me of one of the Russians in season 1 of the Netflix show. And Kingpin, I believe, killed him by slamming his head in a door of a car. Really good scene. Not what Mayor Fisk is going to be doing with him.
Look at all these books. You haven't read a single one of them, have you?
He's talking down to the Kingpin. How the mighty have fallen.
No foreplay.
Ugh, I'm late.
I need to mention something, because I'm going to mention it again as well near the end of the episode. There's this thing they do, and people applauded it, and even I applauded it in the first episode. The editing style, and like, I'm one to talk, my shit, I'm hopping around on my videos, right? And that's fine, because I'm not a multi-billion dollar company. But like, okay, there's an editing style that the show chooses to use for Matt and Fisk, but also other characters. It does 10 seconds of Matt, and then 10 seconds of Fisk, and then 10 seconds of Matt, and repeats. And they're talking about completely different things. It's just let the scene play out.
What is she doing here?
Who?
The Ayala girl.
So there's a scene here where little White Tiger's niece, shows up to talk to him about Hector, and I find it a little strange that she sought out the lawyer specifically. Like, I know they had a conversation near like the vending machine. Like, no normal person goes to the law firm to talk about like somebody that the lawyer represented about something personal too. Like, what?
He was onto something, Matt. He was investigating something.
So this is where she kind of helps out. She kind of says, okay, all the kidnappings that happen with Muse's kidnapping people are all happening around this certain area, this certain like subway area, track 6131, doesn't matter. So we basically know where Muse is. And like a couple seconds later, he's kicking Muse's ass.
Police killed my uncle. I'm not going to them.
All right, fair enough. But what do you want me to do about it?
He's a lawyer. What do you, like, she has like such an she really believes that the cops killed Hector, and it's just, I know that's how it is in the show, but like, those are specifically corrupt cops, and they're acting like every single cop in the show and in New York is bad.
Police killed my uncle.
And I know that this is very political, but like, I don't know what they're trying to say with this show. It's strange. The episode with the Punisher and the cringy fucking Fruit Loops guy, that was called Sic Semper Systema. Basically, Sic Semper Tyrannis means like, basically translates to down with tyrants. So Sic Semper Systema means down with the system. It's so ham-fisted, like I said before. What do you want Daredevil to do? Is he going to take down the system next? Is the system the main villain of this show? Let me know in the comments section. You let me know. And like the video. The video's probably gonna get a lot of dislikes. Let's be real here. I'm going hard in this fucking show. People saw the thumbnail, saw the title. I'm gonna need some likes.
Hey, are you Muse? Is it cool if we take a picture of you?
Like, you know, I applaud for the comic accuracy there. It's kind of cool. I do want to say though that Muse, I love what he's going for there. He looks like a badass. He's a cool character.
Luca came to see me. It was very disrespectful, might I add.
This is after Luca yelled at him and made him sad.
He has no intentions of paying his debt.
It's just so sad seeing what Kingpin has become. Kingpin would have, he would have looked at him, and that would have gotten Luca to pay the 1.8 million. Boom, like that, boom. But instead, no. Instead he's sulking on the bed, probably almost crying. Okay, maybe not that far, but like, come on, Kingpin, bro, Kingpin. There's the back and forth editing happens here again, where he's sitting on his bed like sulking, and then it cuts back to like him begging rich people for money, and like they're talking down to him as well, and he just has to sit there taking it.
Underestimate the people in this room at your own peril. One phone call to the right person, and well, bye Gracie Mansion.
And then you got Lalo from Better Call Saul, also like, and like he's a great actor, great scene, but like he's also talking down and threatening Mayor Fisk. It's just, we're on episode 6. If he was gonna snap, it should have happened in episode 3.
And due to the extreme nature of these crimes, this task force will have special powers and privileges.
There's a lot of cool stuff with Muse, all right? There's the images with the eyes missing is really cool. Muse himself is awesome. I love that he doesn't say anything. He has a really cool design. He seems like a threat. You know, he's got like a body count of like 60 people. So I don't know what the hell the little white tiger, I keep calling her little white tiger just because I think she's going to be the new white tiger. That's just a theory, I guess, but like Hector's niece decides to go into the sewer and investigate what Hector was investigating as the white tiger before. And it's, I don't know, what was her plan exactly? Muse finds her and starts draining her blood. So Matt finds Muse. There's a cool fight scene here though, all right? It's good. It's a good fight scene. There's always a but at the end, because it's like, why is he going toe-to-toe with Matt? He doesn't have any superpowers. He's not strong. And like, okay, I like this is the last time I'll mention it. Hopefully, actually, that's not true. Last time I'll mention it in this video. I'm gonna mention it in another video, I'm sure. The back and forth editing is driving me crazy. They do it again here, where Kingpin is killing Adam and is cutting back and forth with the fight with Matt. And listen, I understand what they're going for. I know the parallels. Matt and Kingpin's inner beast is something that can't be suppressed for long, and they have to give in to their more primal instincts, their true nature. But it's so, I'm annoyed by it. Like they do the back and forth thing all the time in like every episode. I also just want to point out something quick here. Daredevil tries to strangle Muse on a ladder, and Muse can just put his foot on one of the rungs of the ladder, or the rings, whatever they're called, I don't know. And then Kingpin finalizes the fight with a nice yell. There's a lot of yelling in this show. I've been ranting a whole lot in this video, and I don't know how it's going to end up looking, but overall, like this, and we're episode 6 out of 9. It's not good. It's not a good show for me. I know there's some episodes that are good. A lot of people like it. I'm clearly not one of them. Like the BB report, the editing, what they choose to focus on with like Mayor Fisk kissing ass throughout most of the stuff, and then they throw in a filler episode. Like they had so little story that they threw in a filler episode, but like your story is not even like filled to the brim with content. Like where's Bullseye? I know he comes back later, but like, and like, listen, the next 3 episodes are probably going to be a little bit better, because we're going to get Punisher in there and people will go crazy over Punisher. It'll be good. It's going to be hard to hate the scenes with John Bernthal in it, because he's such a good actor. But I feel like the writing is just not there with this show. So that's my rant. That's my review of these episodes. I warned you it's going to be a little ranty. They're not good, man. If you have if you agree with me, let me know in the comment section below, because I want to know how many people are there actually agree. I know that's the thing, is like, not a lot of people are even watching the show to begin with. The viewership is so damn low, but that's kind of the problem, is like, I don't see this viewership increasing because of the quality of the episodes. It might end with an amazing finale, but that does not save the show. So if you want a number, it's like a 6 out of 10. Very mid. And I didn't really care much for the Miss Marvel references because I never saw the show. So what does that matter to me? Also, they referenced the Skrulls in the episode with the Fruit Loops guy. And it's like, I never watched Secret Invasion either. I watched episode 1 of Secret Invasion, thought it was ass, and then stopped watching. So, but yeah, thank you for watching. Remember to leave a like. This video is going to get a lot of dislikes, probably more than likes. And subscribe if you want more ranting, of course. I'm going to be ranting about more things in the future. And I hope you have a nice day. See ya.